What do you guys call yourself? Unicorn llamas or?
No, I'm Mama Corn. He is a unicorn.
I'm a magical unicorn.
It's another rainbow.
This is UnpauseIt, a podcast by a family of geeks.
I'm Lady Disdain, and I'm 43 years old.
I am the sauce underscore, and I am 11
underscore the data bytes 41.
I'm Furious Girl, and I am 9.
What did we watch? What are we talking about?
We watched Ultron something.
Okay, Georgia, we watched Avengers, Age of Ultron. You know, I think Ultron can physically throw up in his mouth.
He does mention that, like, he's like, if I could, I'm like, have you tried?
You could probably build it inside himself, like a bunch of scraps come out, and he can, spit them at the enemy.
He's got a heart, so to speak, so it seems like he might have some digestive.
He's got, this mechanical bomb in his chest.
Right.
And he has this, claw thing in the end.
That's right.
No, this is getting way too far ahead.
It's really...
Who's driving this one?
It is I, Lady Disdain.
Well, then drive it, you shall.
I shall. Yes.
I have one thing, but it's kind of sad the way that the heart comes out of him. It's because Scarlet Witch is sad because she just lost her twin brother.
I know, right? No, it's a really. I actually really. What's one of my favorites?
And guess what?
What?
I'm sad because there's no other super speed character in the whole Marvel.
I know. It's not like Dash could come cross over from the Incredibles and become a super speedy
guy.
What
about Flash? Can't he face through
Flash and Dash are the exact same.
He can go through dimensions. I've seen him do it.
Why do fast people always rhyme with Ash? Dash.
What?
Flash. Smash.
Quicksilver.
That
definitely rhymes.
Drop the mic right there. Not literally.
No one wants to drop the mic. It's an expensive microphone.
The mic so bad.
By the way, we're using the Blue Yeti. It is a really large microphone, but works excellently well.
Wait, it's actually called Blue Yeti.
It is a Blue Yeti.
It says blue, but it doesn't say Yeti.
The company is blue.
It doesn't say
the
Yeti.
company is called Blue. The microphone is a Yeti. And so that just happens to be a black blue Yeti. It's like a black and blue Yeti. It's a bruise Yeti.
I want to.
No, it's a Yeti that's awesome, that is fat, and it has a fluffy...
All right, so I want to say for the record, it's the day after daylight savings time. I'm a little surprised at the energy levels going on in the room right now.
Well, it's 7:16 in the post-meridian.
Yeah.
Normally it would be the 6:16 in the post-meridian.
That's
spring
true.
Forward.
Were people lagging? Were they just kind of like zombies today for you guys?
Yes, I fell out my face on purpose just now.
Oh, you did.
Yes, I did. You saw me right before the podcast. I'll do it again.
You were screaming in a pillow that was different.
Yes, but before that, I face planted on purpose.
Oh my gosh.
Did you not see that?
Calm thyself. We're going to get cracking, though. Age of Ultron, as you mentioned, we're discussing Avengers Age of Ultron. So this is the second full Avengers assembled movie. I'd like to go over to the data bides and get some movie specs from you. Tell us about this movie in brief.
Avengers Age of Ultron.
Hooray.
Released the 1st of May in the year of our Lord 2015. Infinity War is about to come out. Ragnarok was in November.
Hooray!
So it seems like, when did the first Avengers movie come out? What?
Also in May.
Okay, so we're seeing a trend, and we're going to see almost the same thing for Infinity War.
Right, that's a big, that's the beginning of May is when studios like to put out their big stuff to make lots of money.
Well, that makes sense.
We just got some breaking news last week about the length of Infinity War, 2 hours and 37 minutes.
Wow.
Age of Ultron is 2 hours, 21 minutes. So it's not super long as far as the runtime on there.
But it's definitely a challenge for one's bladder, let's be honest.
Right. What do you guys think about Age of Ultron? Little faces?
My final rating is...
No.
Okay, data bites. Please run down the who's in this movie.
This movie stars everybody. Directed by Joss Whedon, the last one he directed. Mm-hmm. And I wonder what happened behind the scenes, because after this, Civil War was in production, right? And Civil War, people regard as the real Avengers sequel.
Maybe.
It's better than Avengers Age of Ultron, for sure. The direction that it went after Joss Whedon left is better than, I think, where it was going.
Okay.
But this is the last one he did, which means Joss Whedon has a lot of one-liners, a lot of good comedic moments.
Mhm.
We got the Vision, Paul Bettany, who played Jarvis.
Yes.
The Iron Man movies.
Sad. It's really sad.
It's
Not
not.
sad, but not.
It's an
you know.
evolution, man.
Yeah.
I mean, but Jarvis is gone, and now he has to use Friday.
But we're introduced to Friday, you know?
Everyone is in this movie.
Robert Downey Jr.,
Who's
Chris
everyone?
Evans, Mark Ruffalo, Scarlett Johansson, Chris Hemsworth, Jeremy Renner, James Spader as Ultron, Samuel L. Jackson as everybody else in every movie, Don Cheadle, Aaron Taylor Johnson, and Elizabeth Olsen introduced as the twins, Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch,
Yeah,
Our friends.
Paul Bettany in physical form,
that's right.
Jarvis,
Mhm.
Vision. Maria Hill has a big one. Anthony Mackie as the Falcon. Haley Atwell as Peggy Carter in a space mind stone induced
Yep.
hallucination. We've also got references to Winter Soldier, but didn't really do good much here. Idris Elba.
Oh,
one of
yeah.
those scenes as well. Stellan Skarsgård.
He's got his pants on this time.
I know. I was kind of wondering if they would have they could have made a quip about better get my pants, because that was so funny in that one. So we've got Andy Serkis as Ulysses Klaue, who we see in Black Panther. So Black Panther is a sequel to this movie and Civil War together. That's because we see Black Panther and Civil War. But Thor Ragnarok is a direct sequel to this movie because of the Hulk.
That was Dark World's, moment of truth. That's, the best part of Dark World. So, you
Okay.
can't steal from Dark World, otherwise it would just be, a sad mixture of,
Well, I was saying they could have referenced it and brought Dark World's prestige up a little bit, maybe.
Yeah,
So we have Andy Serkis as Ulysses Klaue. Stan Lee makes a cameo.
of course.
What else have we got going on in here?
Everything.
Right. And then a bunch of other
That's a lot. That is a stacked ensemble.
I
Lots
wanna
of
be everything.
people going on.
Right.
I
Which,
wanna be part
you
of
guys,
everyone.
doesn't even hold a candle to what we're going to see in Infinity War. Just, you mean literally everyone
Well,
is
really,
in the
even
movie.
Civil War,
Yeah.
2 movies later.
Most
Right.
of the people listening to this right now aren't part of everyone, and that's kind of sad.
I
Okay.
would like to say something on Infinity War before I forget it. I hope that I see the Guardians, the Avengers, and most of the other main characters along the MCU, all lined up together around Thanos.
I don't think we see that. I don't think we see it.
I mean,
I think we see them all in separate places. They haven't come together yet.
yeah, the scope of it. I mean, it'll be really interesting. I'm honestly
Right.
curious to see how that. But we're again digress. We're
That's a different one.
not in Infinity Wars yet. Okay. So, anything else about movie specs?
No.
We hope kids listen to this podcast and we understand there are limits.
There are people who listen to this podcast that are kids. I know of you,
I know, and
and you know.
thank you for totally just repeating what I said. That's awesome. That was emphasis.
What?
Yes. It was emphasis. Let's just jump into villains. I want to talk about the villains. I'm going to go to Furious Girl, who is a villain that you wrote down.
Tony Stark.
Really?
Yep,
You wrote down Tony as a villain?
he's evil.
Wait, do tell why. Why is he a
Why?
villain for you?
I have no idea.
Well, come on. You got to have some
We wrote it down
ideas.
for a reason.
Is he...
I wrote it down for her. I have no idea.
Okay. Willis, how about you? Who do you think?
So, Ultron, definitely. But who originally created Ultron? Tony Stark.
That's probably why you both have him down.
I see super armor around the world, and I quote from Dr. Banner, pretty cool world.
That's
and it
right.
would be a dead world, too. So,
Right.
That's legit.
so what I am saying is that Tony Stark is the bad guy, because every time he's like, yeah, I'm make better, and every time he creates the bad guy. Think about how many times he's done this.
Well, and if we think forward, I mean, he tends to be one who causes conflict sometimes more than solving it, or comes in to solve the same conflict he caused, right?
Right.
He also made the Mandarin, also known as the fruit.
Right? He created demons that generated the Mandarin and Aldrich Killian later down the line. That's true. All right, so that's interesting. I think it's kind of key and crucial that you guys wrote down Tony Stark. Dad Abides, who did you have down for villains?
I had Ultron.
Yes.
Strucker.
Yeah.
Small minor character. We've seen that kind of popping up in other movies, future movies. I think that was kind of the first time we saw minor villains showing up in the movies with a pivotal kind of key role.
Yep.
Civil War, we see Crossbones. He was introduced in Winter Soldier, so we kind of see a 2-movie arc there. Some other ones that are minor. Claw is kind of minor,
right,
in Black Panther, so he's not the main villain,
right,
Killmonger, but we see minor villains being introduced here and there, and I thought that was worth mentioning.
Agreed.
We have the Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, who change sides.
Yeah.
Because she sees into Ultron's mind, because when the Vision is being created and he's connecting to the Vision's brain, she's able to then read him.
So she has limits. They have limits as to how far they want to go to destroy the Avengers.
They didn't want to destroy the world, but they saw the Avengers as bad for the world. Just like in Civil War, where they had the Sokovia Accords.
Right.
This is Sokovia. So we're seeing that sentiment placed here for the movies coming forward. So those are the villains that I had put down.
Sauce, what you got?
I think that we were mentioning Civil War too much. Hasn't even happened in our order yet, so we should stop talking about it.
We're talking more in context. This is context of this movie. So we just talked about some villains, and Dad Abides, I'm gonna say too, he alluded to Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver start out kind of bad news, bad side, wrong side for us. Yet you see why they're doing it. They're very upset at Tony Stark and the Avengers, and so they want to get vengeance on them because their parents are dead, right? So it's pretty legit for them. And they went so far as to volunteer to be experimented on by Strucker. Now they have these superpowers. Did you guys catch that though? Strucker took in all these people to experiment on them. The twins were the only 2 that survived. So he basically killed everybody he was trying to put that superpower from the Mind Stone into, I think. Is that what he was using?
Yeah, I'm not sure. That leads us to the question of, did Strucker know that there was a Mind Stone in it?
Right.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I think Ultron figured it out pretty quick.
I think no one, especially Thanos, knew about it. And we've had this whole, we've had this whole Scepter Thanos talk, so go watch that podcast. I'm not going to talk about it.
So we'll just go on the assumption that no one really knew that there was a Mind Stone in it, except for Ultron, because he could see how it was coming about, and he was intimately connected with it because that's what caused his download into the Ultron program was the Mind Stone. So he was self-aware of his own stone abilities.
The thing that generated him, exactly.
Right.
Let's hop to weaknesses, vulnerabilities. I'm going to start this off. One of the things I wrote down, which kind of, again, drives back to the fact that Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, but I'm talking about Scarlet Witch right now, started out as a bad influence, a bad side. At the beginning they enter the battle, which we'll talk about a bit, the battle for Loki's scepter at that compound in Sokovia. She uses her power, and basically she is the weakness for every single Avenger except for Hawkeye, and only because he gets to her before she gets to him. He's like, nah, I don't want any more mind control. But she takes down each of the Avengers, does she not?
Right. Even Thor.
Yeah, even though he is mighty.
So the point that Lady Zane is saying here is it's been stated by the bigwigs at Marvel that perhaps you always have this comic book trope. Who's the most powerful superhero? Is it Batman? Is it Superman? Is it Thanos? Is it Hulk? Is it this or is it that, right? Is it Wolverine or Professor X?
Right.
They have stated that Scarlet Witch is the most powerful Avenger.
I buy it. I mean,
because of what she can do to everybody. Yeah. She's the only one that can best anybody. And that goes back to my thing when they're creating Vision. Had Ultron ultimately placed his mind in Vision, it would have actually been better for the world because Sokovia wouldn't have happened. She would have seen it and immediately overpowered him.
Yeah, that's true.
In my opinion.
She immediately she acted to turn Dr. Cho to remove the Mind Stone power. So again, just what Daddy was saying, what Dad Abides was saying, she's able to overcome the power of the Mind Stone. So had she been present, like when Loki was, possessing everybody with the scepter, she could have been like, nope, done. Again, not to talk about Civil War again, we see her power later, overpowering one of the most powerful Avengers that is birthed in this movie, Vision. What do you got?
It's very weird because, how can somebody have powers that are more powerful than an Infinity Stone, and those Infinity Stones created the entire universe.
You know what's interesting?
No, they were just there when the universe was created. They've been there.
You know what's interesting that I just thought of? Like, just now in my brain. You know how, like, she gets going with her arms and then she got the red tendrils coming out? That reminds me of the Reality Stone.
Right.
I mean, she messes with mind,
Okay.
but that just is an interesting... And I was Scarlet Witch at
Was that
Comic-Con.
an apostrophe? Did lightning strike?
Yes,
your
it was an
brain?
apostrophe. I think you mean an epiphany. And if anyone can think what that movie is from, write us. P.O. Box 1343, Englewood,
I'll send you
Colorado,
$1 in the mail.
80150. Write us what your guess is.
Right now, because I know what the movie is, and it's all they think.
So, any other weaknesses, vulnerabilities? We talked about Scarlet Witch pretty much taking down the team.
What is the weakness of Scarlet Witch, kiddos?
Hi.
No.
In that one moment, but overall, what's her weakness?
She believes she can't do it. She's conflicted.
A bit, yes. She's young is basically what you're getting at.
That's true. That's right.
Her brother.
Yeah.
Right.
It's sad.
But what happens? So,
But it's also her power.
right.
Oh my gosh, right?
When she lost it because she felt him die,
She destroyed about 20.
just
Exactly.
boom, right there. So that's what we're saying, that was just an inkling of her power.
That rage. I mean, she kind of went Hulk right there, where she's like, and now, bam.
It dissolved.
Can you imagine, though, you guys, can you imagine if one of the Avengers or a person had been immediately around her right then?
Right, just
She just was kind of like out of control, vaporized everybody around me.
right.
Yeah, that's
You?
legit.
You or Scarlet Witch?
Scarlet Witch. No, I wouldn't vaporize everybody.
Around
I
you, like
float
if you were standing around there,
me.
around you, the grammatical you, not the literal you.
Data Bytes, did you have anything written down for weaknesses, vulnerabilities?
Nope.
What about Tony's weakness? Yeah.
Oh, he can't. He's like, oh, my friends died. I can't operate with that thing. He believes what Scarlet Witch told him. He showed. I wasn't tricked. I was shown. Yeah, Stark. I think you're a little messed up in here and a little self-conflicted, and you're just like, meh, my character now.
Right.
Georgia?
But during that moment, the sauce, as in happy sauce, there was this space worm thingy,
Uh-huh.
and from later movies, well, past movies, he kept on having nightmares, and his weakness was having those nightmares, and those nightmares were about then, and so he was probably flipping out.
No, you're right, Georgia, because in Iron Man 3, we see Tony is dealing with PTSD, where he's reliving the helplessness of feeling like he can't, whatever is through that wormhole, through that hole into the cosmos, he's not able to stop it.
Right.
And that manifests into this movie where he's like, I gotta be able to stop that. I gotta rescue everyone. And so that leads to.
Well, what does Fury say to him? What really messed him up was that he wasn't dead.
And everybody else was. Everyone else was dead. Which, you guys, predictions, really quick. Who do you think's gonna die? I'm gonna go one by one.
In the first 5 minutes of
Who do you think's
Infinity
gonna
War.
die in Infinity War? Furious, go first.
Tony Stark!
Who do you think?
Loki.
You think Loki's gonna die?
Okay,
No!
I know.
the last part of Thor Ragnarok, when Thanos' ship come up, then,
Oh, quit talking about movies that are in the future.
okay.
I asked for it. You've gone too far.
Okay.
So what you were saying is in Ragnarok, when Thanos' ship,
Yeah, at the end when Thanos' ship comes up, I think that's when Loki
Spoilers.
dies. Like, actually dies, not deception at all.
but that is leading directly into Infinity War.
Spoilers.
Who do you think?
Who do I think or who do I want?
Do you think first, and then who do you want?
Who do I think in the first 5 minutes?
Yes.
Pepper.
Okay.
I think it's Pepper in the suit as rescue.
All right. Wait. I'm going to say who I think. I also think Tony Stark and Loki are going to die.
Oh, you think both? Geez.
I do think both. Furious Girl, coming back to you.
Okay, so I didn't do my want.
Okay, do your want.
My want is Jane Foster.
They
sucks.
kind of killed her off because they're not putting her back in the
dumped.
movie.
Yeah, and there's a. If
She's on a mountainside not doing nothing.
Willis, Sauce, go.
So, I didn't do my want either. My want is, I want Tony Stark to die. I hate him.
He's rather pompous.
He's really run his course. I mean, I feel by the time we get to this, to me, it's a natural selection that yes. And besides, I feel like after Black Panther, I mean, he easily could have that void filled by T'Challa and Shuri and all the tech and the
Right.
else and all that stuff. Furious Girl, what do you have to say?
You didn't do your want.
My want? Who I want to die?
Yes.
I know we feel very macabre right now, but basically it's characters we feel like, hey, you've run your course, exit, stage left.
Tony Stark.
Tony.
I'm going to say I want Tony Stark to exit stage left.
That would be my want as well. And I think the kiddos are kind of showing us something here that Tony, Robert Downey Jr., Tony Stark, Iron Man character does not carry a lot of weight.
He sucks.
With the driving force for repeat viewing.
Right.
Children not in school. Adults with jobs that aren't in the movie industry, that actually have lives, don't see movies more than once.
That's right.
He sucks.
Too much life
He
sometimes.
does. He carries weight for adults because we find him funny and whatever. But the kids are like, no, like give me some other people like Thor. Or,
Yeah, Thor.
Loki.
Thor, I imagine I would have said he would have died, but then we see that Guardians of the Galaxy scene with him in the trailer.
Yeah.
Him and Loki.
But yeah,
Right.
what I want would be Tony Stark, and then Pepper then becomes Rescue because she's able to take all of his suits.
Okay.
But then she's limited. Once she loses a suit, can't make a new suit.
Right.
So that becomes like a trope for the next couple movies.
Okay. Furious Girl. Then we're gonna move on from this topic.
Okay, I just hope Harley doesn't die. Harley from the...
Oh, little kid.
Yeah.
He's cool. We haven't seen him since Iron Man 3. But
I know, I just hope he doesn't die.
It'd be cool to see him in a Netflix show.
Oh, wait, who?
Harley, little kid.
Oh, yeah.
Are you having a panic attack right now? Is it bothering you? Is this help? Is mine helping? And he's like, oh my gosh, kid. We pretty much know all of our existing Avengers superpowers. We do see the entrance of Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. And what are their superpowers?
Everything?
No. Sauce?
This is a boring topic, so I'm going to skip it.
It's kind
Your
of...
superpower is avoidance. Okay.
Right. So we're going to talk about the mind control. As Hill says, he's fast and she's weird.
Word. She makes people weird, in my opinion.
Right.
She's not
She
just
is
weird.
weird.
She
And the
makes people
Quicksilver
weird.
thing is one of the things that Joss Whedon does that really makes me think that he doesn't really have that much creativity in him. He always kills one person off because he thinks it's more creative, but it isn't. However, in Quicksilver, I think they only had one movie because Quicksilver, the character, is also in the X-Men universe.
Right.
And he's in multiple movies. I think it was kind of the one I'm saying, you can have him, can't continue on with him.
Yeah,
And Joss Whedon's like, perfect, I'm killing him anyway.
that's right.
You know how
It works out for him. Ultron, what's his superpower?
He is,
Weird.
I think
okay, that's
he's a
kinda like-
computer program in a mind, so he can't die when he kill that body, right?
I know a weakness.
What's his weakness?
Can't see the future and he's blind.
Okay.
Blinded by that programming from the Ultron program that he was merged with.
Furious
no,
Girl.
he's seriously blind. He actually uses symptoms.
Okay, Furious Girl.
His weakness is Hulk.
Yeah,
Hulk
well,
can easily tear him to shreds.
Yeah, he's the only one that never really faced him face to face, and every time he did, it was like, boom, are you kidding me?
for crying out loud.
Yeah.
I wrote down that connectivity was his superpower, that he's able to instantly be somewhere else. Remember how he says to Tony, he's like, I'm already there. You'll catch on. The first thing Vision does when he encounters Vision, who's finished now, he removes him from the internet, which makes it so that if they can physically destroy him at Sokovia, he will be done.
Right, so he's able to transfer himself between robots, but not into the internet. He can't go into the banking system and transfer $2 billion to my account, which is unfortunate, because I could use that.
Yeah, so can I, because I could get all of the things at the book fair next week.
No, you do.
Literally all of
You
them.
could divide it up by, we could all get a few million and we'd still be like complete rich.
We'd go pay off the mortgages of all the houses.
Like,
of
I'm
all
going
the
to go
people
by
we know.
Target now.
You need
You
to
can buy
think
Toys
bigger.
R Us because they're out of business.
As Ultron said, you need to think bigger picture. You need to see the big picture. What do you got, Georgia?
I can buy a Millennium Falcon Lego set.
Yes, you could.
$800 Lego set.
Hey, guess what?
I'm saving up. I only need $300 more, and then I'm
If
gonna
somebody
buy it.
sends us that Lego set, we will podcast the entire build of
With
the Lego
video.
set with video.
Because I am flipping excited.
Wait, don't we need to like give them our address for like have a house?
I put it on the website, UnpauseIt.com. That's where our address
Putting a
is.
bunch
You
of
can see
names
it right
on the
there.
front door.
Okay, I'd like to say something.
Quick, and then we're going to move on to major battles.
I forgot what I was going to say. Moving on to major battles.
Moving on to major battles. We had a ton of battles, I feel, in this one, because I wrote down like 4. Did anyone in this room write down a major battle? Georgia.
the town where Hulkbuster
Oh yeah, was that?
Sheldon.
Where was that? Was that in Wakanda?
South Africa.
Oh, South Africa.
It was near Wakanda.
It was actually
Wakanda.
filmed in South Africa, but it was an African country.
That
That's
was
where,
a major one.
Yeah, that's where Claw is, based
And
out
it
of.
took down quite a bit of it, actually. Yeah. Sauce. What about you? Major battle.
Language.
Hydra base.
Hydra base. Yeah. So the battle is that Loki's scepter battle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was really good. That was which we'll get into in favorite character scenes and lines. That definitely had some great ones coming up. Data Bides, would you write down anything for major
I
battles?
didn't really write down major battles. I wrote down some favorite scenes and stuff, though.
Okay.
What?
Well, we also have Ultron's first appearance when he comes out at the house party, and so he has a quick, yet major battle with all the Avengers, basically announcing himself and what his intention is.
Right.
Sus?
I think we have a separate time that's not major battle, just battles, because you think, killing someone with a knife is a major battle.
I don't think that.
I've observed this from all of you.
Well, yeah, I would say
Important
going
battles.
to a future movie the past movie, Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Going to a past movie, Sauce, where we had two super soldiers fighting each other, Winter Soldier and
Wait,
Cap, right?
wait.
So we have those two people fighting, knives are pulled out. That was a better battle than any of the battles in this movie.
Wow, bold statement.
And the reason I say that is almost all of these battles, even if they're grander in scope, giant thing coming in there, felt just like the fighting in Avengers.
Wow.
It didn't feel that much different. The action was okay. It could have been trimmed and the movie wouldn't have lost anything. It might have actually gained something.
Gotcha.
I think where people could say, yeah, this one felt just like a rehash of the first one, I think it's the fighting parts. There was too many just action scenes in it, and that could have been condensed, and it could have had a more character-driven story. But that's just my opinion. That the fight between Bucky and Cap was better than any of these.
Did anyone feel, and we'll also get your point in just a moment. Do you still have it in your brain?
I had a sneeze.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So did anyone feel like when, the part where the Avengers all gather around that metal thing that they wanted to keep the Ultron from, and Ultron shows up, did anyone feel like that was very much the same as the first Avengers movie?
Exactly, and they had the panning around.
And them all fighting and showing different ways they're fighting.
I know,
you don't feel it?
I feel like it's more like just kept in that one area, everywhere else was different.
Okay, because
In the first Avengers and...
I definitely felt like it was similar, okay, been here, done that, I get we have added characters, but this feels like the same circular thing.
It started off because it was, the scene went slowed down and they're all in the same shot, going, fighting, whatever.
Alright, so we've covered major battles. Let's cut to the favorite characters, scenes, and or lines. I am starting off with Dad Abides.
Aha!
Are you ready?
I am, but I can't read my own handwriting.
No pun intended.
Oh, wow.
I was writing furiously in the dark. My favorite scenes, I have Revels. I have Scarlet Witch can control Ultron after his mind would become integrated with Vision. With that Vision. So that scene right there, I really liked. She sees it. She turns. They both turn against Ultron at that point. Undoes the Mind Stone effect for Cho.
Yeah.
With no head trauma.
Right.
And you can see that when she turns, the fear actually in Ultron. He actually is afraid. Oh no, these people are powerful enough to stop him. Had she been able to just tear him apart right then, she could have actually probably stopped him from getting to the internet. And then when Tony Stark, or at least favorite character, is talking to Nick Fury, there's a Colorado license plate on the wall. I like it.
Furry.
That's right.
Nick Fury.
We had to actually rewind that scene because you kept saying it. I'm like, what? Listen to what he just said.
And also, the whole thing where everyone's winding down, they're all probably had a few, not too many, but just enough. And they're trying to move it. They're trying to move the
hammer.
Mjolnir.
Meow meow.
Yeah. And then, so Cap, it does move just a little bit for Cap. But he does have his flaws. And then later on, when Vision is trying to convince them, and he's saying the same things that Tony says and saying the same things that Cap says, he's kind of in between both of them.
Yeah.
And just here you go.
That was great.
That was a great reveal.
I feel like in the movie theater...
He was holding the meow meow, just so you know, because they didn't say that.
Well, yeah, but in the movie theater, I remember everybody's like, whoa!
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, she's totally holding the hammer. Sauce. What are your favorite scenes, lines, and characters?
Okay, one of my favorite scenes: Hulkbuster versus Hulk. Hulkbuster pins Hulk down, and Veronica gives Veronica a new arm, and that arm is
Veronica, give me a hand.
it's an automatic punching machine. So while it's just like
Just pounding.
yeah, you can't do it on a carpet.
Yeah, no, don't. Just we know what you mean.
Okay, so and it's like go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep.
That
And
was
he
great.
does it, and then he catches it, and he's like, ah.
And
That was a good battle. That one felt different than the first.
Another one on that same battle is when Hulkbuster swings an elevator really hard and drops it on Hulk, and then comes down and punches it, and other stuff. And the Hulk looks at him.
Spits out
Tattoos.
twos.
I'm sorry. Just Tony Stark's little abusive, meek voice,
He's like, oh, I'm in trouble.
okay, sorry.
What else?
I also had another one with Tony Stark, sadly. I'm the nuclear code, and you don't want me to.
So you like him, but you're kind of over it.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Another one of my favorite scenes I have a lot is when Captain America picks up that piece of wood. He's about to chop it, but instead he gets away and he rips it apart with his hands.
He's
Right.
a strong dude.
And then
he's Captain America.
and then when Tony goes to fix the tractor but meets Nick Fury, right before that, Tony's like, don't steal from my pile. I won't. Mine's 3 times bigger than yours. What was the other one?
It was the kissing.
I hate you.
All right, can I come back to you in a minute?
I won't have anything else.
Okay. Furious Girl, how about your favorite scenes, lines, and characters?
All the kissing.
The kids are... There is face palming going on.
Oh, and just so you know, Dad, this is the first words that I wrote for favorite character, scenes, and lines. Anyone who didn't attempt or did kiss. Anyone who did
Yeah, she
it.
wrote it down. I didn't even know that.
That's great.
I wrote that down. And then I have no scenes and I have no lines.
There's actually only one kiss, I think.
Oh, no.
No, there were 2.
There were? Which
Well,
one?
there were multiple.
You were counting?
No, I just know that there were multiple.
Okay. Interesting.
What?
Nothing. All right. I love language.
Yeah, that
which is a running gag throughout the whole team. You kiss your mother with that mouth? It's like,
Fury, you son of a murder.
careful, Steve. That's a bad language word.
when Hill says at the party, Steve, you said a bad word.
That's right. I also had lifting the hammer. I thought that was a great scene where they're all trying to do it, and Thor finally, you're all not worthy. Do you guys remember this one? And it's just creepy, and it's really good. I had strings, but now I'm free. There are no strings on me. And then they cut to the compound, and you hear the Pinocchio, it's the song from Pinocchio, and it's so creepy, and you're like, ah.
Pinocchio is a creepy story.
It is a creepy story.
Just sing it in a creepy voice. I forgot the song.
It's like, I had strings, but now I'm free. There are no strings on me.
Freaky kid. I said that one.
It is a
The
freaky
story is a little bit more nefarious than that. But
It's creepy.
I think the delivery of all of James Spader's lines are well done.
He was perfectly cast for that. I think that he was just because if you know James Spader, it's almost like just as much as Robert Downey Jr. is perfect for Tony Stark, James Spader is perfect for Ultron. Just that kind of like caustic, robotic. He just had a great thing. Then one of my favorites, only when I've just created a murder bot. Banner had some really good lines in there, like where Tony starts laughing maniacally, and he's just like, cut it out. That's not good right now.
Phil, get off the couch.
And then Tony's like, trust me, kind of don't.
I don't know.
Kind of don't. And one of my favorite ones is when this is from Cap, and then it comes full circle to Tony, where he's like, how do you suggest we would have beat them? And Cap goes, together. He's like, we'd lose. And he goes, we'll do that together too.
Right.
Which lays the groundwork for some future conflicts going on.
He's got a sense of duty and right that Stark just doesn't have.
Yeah, and, he might be a little daydreamy about it. It's not realistic, but it is. It's about we're a team, and you can't just run off and do this by yourself. Which is interesting because later, that's exactly what Tony and then even Banner, he gets Banner to help him. They wind up actually doing the right thing. And Thor comes in, and he's like, everybody's fighting about whether they're going to make Jarvis and Division, and he's like, nope, that's what we're gonna do. He's like, let me get this done for you, and he does, and that's what the destiny of that is. Stanley cameo.
What do you think, kiddos?
What do you guys remember? What was Stanley cameo? X.
I remember that one.
The party, the right before the meow meow.
He got
This was aged for 1,000.
he got for 1,000 years, blah 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 whatnot, like Vikings and all that. And so afterward, people are just sitting knocked out and all. Excelsior when
Ecstasy.
Yeah, basically.
once they get drunk. Okay, and I love how Thor pours some for himself, but also to Cap. Because
Cap
But it's not going to bother Cap.
Cap can't get drunk.
Yeah,
He might have felt something with that one, though.
maybe.
No, felt something like a little bit of buzz, but then
Right.
So yeah, essentially Stanley playing a veteran who's there with the party, and he's like, come on. He's like, I can take whatever you got in that flask, and he cannot take it.
Okay, I love how Stanley is an old, crazy, probably dimensional man.
Data Bites, how'd you rate Stanley cameo?
I gave it a 10. It was well done. He wasn't playing himself. He had good lines. It fit with the whole scene. It was just well done.
Furious Girl, what'd you rate Stanley cameo? 10? What? 10 out of 10? Wow, so it's 2 10s out of 10s? What about you? What'd you rate it? The sauce?
3.16.
You liked it.
Not impressed? Okay, 3 point. So you actually should get 3.14. It's almost pi. It's almost pi day. Okay, so low score from the sauce. I also gave it a 10 out of 10 because I just was like, it's great. He's not a nondescript character. It was funny.
And we know overall ratings, we've lost the children.
Yeah, everybody back away from the cat. We have our cat here, and apparently our podcast weakness is the cat because he apparently derailed everything for just a bit.
Yes, and guess what? He's sitting on the counter now, like all curled up.
He's not meowing, he's meowed. Meow meow.
Yeah,
He heard us
trying
saying
to sit
meow
on
meow.
my tiny fold of a paper.
Of course he was. He heard us saying meow meow, and he's like, yes.
Wait a second. Okay, one thing. Okay, I'd like to say something.
Say it.
He was coming down earlier. That's the time when he laid on dead paper. So he's coming down, but we have stairs, and he knows to be quiet. So he's just like one paw, another paw on the same stair, and then he just repeats it: one paw, another paw,
He was
one paw, another.
tiptoeing in.
And like tut, 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 tut.
He wasn't being quiet about it, but he was being slow and deliberate, like, I'm coming down.
Like he's stalking his prey.
He's like, I am the king of this area. You are my peasants.
All right, moving on from the peasants and the cat and the things. We usually cover the mid and end credit scenes. We only had a mid-credit scene.
No end credit scene.
Data Bites, what was the mid-credit scene? Describe.
Infinity Gauntlet, fine, I'll do it myself. From Thanos, spoken by Josh Brolin.
That's right. So I'd like to get your ratings for that mid-credit scene. Sauce, go first.
Meh.
Okay.
I don't know what a meh would be.
That's okay. Probably about a 4 out of 10.
I'm firmly in that meh category as well.
Yeah, okay. Why are you meh?
It's just like
Because you're just meh.
It's just so horrible. Like
Yeah.
It's like, meh.
it's just like there's no point to it.
So, Georgia, what did you think, Furious Girl? That the Thanos get in the gauntlet in the mid-credit scene? Or you're also meh? I mean, I guess I am meh, too. I was the whole time trying to, look and say, can I determine where in the universe this is happening based on what's opening the gauntlet to him?
It was
I guess
in an
it's just
Apple
on a
store.
ship. It was in an Apple store.
Yes, it was. It was totally in an Apple
It was
store.
in a Gold's Gym locker.
It was a California Apple store.
It was one of those storage units.
So
Okay, so overall rating?
Yes. Are you ready for my unit? My unit of measure?
The unit of measure.
So I was thinking of Excelsiors. I didn't go with that one. I'm going to go with Cuttlefish.
Oh, from
How many out of 10 Cuttlefish?
2.
All right. I would like to get Furious Girl your overall rating of this movie. How many
2
Cuttlefish?
/ bit.
2 Cuttlefish?
You wouldn't want to watch this movie again?
Never.
All right.
Okay.
And it was
Wow.
the worst movie
I'm
ever.
going to have to look back and see what your ratings
The
were for everyone.
fancies of a 9.
Data Bites, what's your rating?
8.5.
8.5 Cuttlefish.
The Thor and Infinity Stone scene was really good. The Hulk fighting scenes were pretty good.
Mhm.
But the Banner, Tony Stark banter was, the dialogue was better than any of the fighting scenes, really. So, yeah, but, it still had those flaws a little bit. So, 8.5.
Okay. Sauce.
6.6.
6.6 out of 10 Cuttlefish.
6.66.
Ooh. I know, we're like 3.14, 6.4.
I'm going for 1.5.
All right, and I'm going to give it 7.75 Cuttlefish out of 10 because it was pretty decent, but again, not my favorite. It's up there. It's just not like the best. It's not a Captain America Winter Soldier.
Right, when you see Civil War
It's not Guardians of
versus
the
this
Galaxy.
one, you're like, Ultron could have been so much better.
I agree.
Dead Abides, please lay down some box office numbers for us.
Box office for Avengers Age of Ultron, released in May 1st of 2015, had an opening weekend of $191 million.
Wow.
And I don't think that was a 4-day weekend or anything. Black Panther, for context, which is just blowing up the box office.
Right, over $1
It's
billion
about
now.
to die off really hard because the summer movie is going to push it out.
Sure.
I'm going to talk about that here because this was the beginning of the summer movie scene for this movie. Just a little bit of technical money-making things and how, some movies make money and some make weird numbers. You can't really go by all the numbers. So $191 million opening weekend, $459 million for its run,
Mm-hmm.
946 overseas. So for a total of $1.4 billion. Made more money than the first one.
Wow, yeah, I would say.
By $200 million or so. It was in release for 161 days. 23 weeks.
Dude,
Right. So that's
that's almost half a year.
right. It ended its theater run October 8th. When you start a movie at the beginning of
Yeah.
summer, it works better.
Yeah,
Had Last Jedi not been a Christmas release,
right.
I think it would have made more money, actually.
Yeah.
The controversy would have made more money about that one. So the next movie, because I said Ant-Man was the next movie the last podcast, we're going to edit that out. Probably edit this out, too. The next movie is Ant-Man. That closes out Phase 2.
Phase 2.
Set your phasers on 2 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
That's right. And you're going to lead Ant-Man because you really dig it.
I really dig it. I dig it because it's a dude trying to take care of his family.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't really know how to take care of his family.
Yep.
That's kind of pretty much every dude that wants to take care of his family. Not every dude meets an eccentric, super genius scientist with a shrinking suit.
That's true. I think that's rare, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of things we're going to talk about in that movie are the comedy aspects of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a heist movie.
It's Paul Rudd.
Right.
Yeah. And Baskin Robbins. They always find out. On that note, thank you for listening, and don't forget to visit us at UnpauseIt.com. And you guys, remember, you can mail us stuff or thoughts or whatever, just nothing that's, poisonous, to P.O. Box 1343, Englewood, Colorado 80150, Unpause It, and we'll see you next time.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube, and visit UnpauseIt.com.